I'm curious, who are the people who you think shouldn't have guns? You say there are certain people. What do you have in mind?
Well, I certainly think plenty of right-wing ideologues should not have guns. I think plenty of violently anti-trans people should not have guns. I think violent misogynists should not have guns. I think violent racists should not have guns.
This is the problem with red flag laws. You can take anyone's rights all because they disagree with you. I don't care if you're trans. I personally don't support that way of living. Does that make me anti-trans? If I don't support terrorist organizations like BLM, does that make me a racist? Because according to her, my rights could be taken away just because my beliefs are different from hers.
Congressional Representative Elise Stefanik is presenting a bill to protect gun owners' personal information from being abused. Welcome to another installment of the Connecticut Gun Bench. Today's video is brought to you by P.A.N. Firearms, LLC. P.A.N. Firearms, your NRA certification and multifaceted gun training. You can reach us at 203-300-6343 or use our website at www.panfirearmsllc.com. As always, there'll be a link in the description box below. And you like channel, like content, what I do, you can support me with the link. Everything is appreciated. And for my Connecticut residents, if you plan on getting your Connecticut pistol permit, please get that training done before July 2024, because after that it gets longer, harder, more expensive. If you have your permit, watch that expiration date. There is a link to the online renewal portal for Connecticut permits in the description box. Keep an eye on that. Don't let it expire. Let's talk about this. Now, I've talked about this on and off for quite some time, where there's an organization called FinCEN, which is the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, who has been basically abusing its bureaucratic power by not only keeping track of your firearms purchases, but they went a little further by also looking at what kind of speech you were using online. And if certain keywords such as Trump, MAGA, were then used, they would then target that person for further scrutiny. Well, Elise Stefanik out of New York has presented a bill, and she's calling it the Protecting Privacy in Purchase Act, which, in a nutshell, will prevent these organizations such as FinCEN from using that information in a nefarious manner. Now, if you've been paying attention to my channel for some time, you've seen that I have spoken about this in the past, where the members of Congress called out this organization and demanded that they come before Congress and testify as to what exactly they were doing with this information that they were gathering in what appeared to be a very, very nefarious move to target legal gun owners. But let me come into here. Gun buyers hail introduction of Rep. Elise Stefanik's Protecting Privacy in Purchases Act. NSSF, the Firearm Industry Trade Association, hails the introduction of the Protecting Privacy in Purchase Act, introduced by U.S. Rep. Elise Stefanik, which will ban the use of a firearm retailer-specific merchant category code, MCC. If you remember, not too long ago, the credit card companies were actually putting in specific MCC codes that targeted ammunition and firearms purchases. The legislation will protect the Second Amendment privacy of firearm and ammunition purchasers from financial service and payment card providers compiling purchase history that has already proven to be exploited by the federal government for political purposes. U.S. Treasury's Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, FinCEN, admitted to U.S. Senator Tim Scott in a letter that it violated the Fourth Amendment rights of law-abiding citizens that protect against illegal search and seizure when it collected the credit card purchase histories from banks and credit card companies of individuals who purchased firearms and ammunition in the days surrounding January 6, 2020. Treasury's FinCEN had no cause and sought the information without a warrant to place these law-abiding citizens on a government watch list only because they exercised their Second Amendment rights to lawfully purchase firearms and ammunition. Quote, the Biden administration has already proven that they cannot be trusted to respect the private firearm transaction of law-abiding citizens without a warrant. Federal agencies collected financial information on private firearms and ammunition transactions to create an illegal government watch list of gun owners, said Lawrence G. Keene, NSF Senior Vice President and General Counsel. Representative Elise Stefanik's legislation would rein in federal overreach to use the private financial transactions of law-abiding citizens against them for political means. No American should be concerned that the federal government is employing this scheme concocted by gun control cheerleaders that weaponizes an individual's finances and their free exercise of Second Amendment rights to wrongfully identify them as criminal in waiting. NSSF thanks Representative Stefanik for her principled leadership to stand up to constitutionally protected rights and against special interests and big government lawmakers whose goal is to monitor and deny lawful transactions by law-abiding Americans. The need for a federal policy has become necessary since several states have enacted similar legislation to protect the privacy of firearm and ammunition purchases, including Florida, Idaho, Mississippi, Montana, North Dakota, Texas, and West Virginia. Several additional states are currently considering similar legislation. California enacted legislation last year requiring the use of a firearm retailer specific MCC, and Colorado is considering legislation that would do the same. Okay, let's come out of that. So this, of course, is leading to unelected bureaucrats abusing authority to go after political opponents in any manner that they deem to be fit. And of course, it's illegal and a violation of the Constitution. And I do applaud Ms. Stefanik for coming out with this legislation. How much traction we'll get, we'll see. It could possibly pass the House and get to the Senate, but we know we have basically an uneven Senate at this point in time, so we're not sure how it's going to play out there. But it is something that needs to be addressed. You should not be targeted because you go out and buy ammunition or firearms or anything firearms related, and then have the government put you on a watch list to then scrutinize you even further. That is illegal and is downright dangerous. And of course, it leads to a bigger political issue of attacking political opponents that you obviously don't agree with, because there's a whole lot of stuff going on right now politically that is clearly they're using the court system to target people based on their political beliefs and leanings. Now, on a more political note, I'm personally becoming a little tired of the Democrats, because each step they're showing you that they are truly fascist in their ideals. And this is not just so much from a firearms position, but also obviously political with what's going on. As you know, the Supreme Court has basically said that Trump cannot be taken off the ballot. And we're watching the Democrats literally, in my opinion, use fascist ideals to try to further this idea of taking Trump off the ballot by now going Jamie Raskin is now going through Congress trying to present a bill to then remove Trump on the insurrectionist ideal, the 14th Amendment, Section 3. And the funny thing is, in order to, it's the way they're trying to do this is like taking a person who has not committed murder and then say, you have committed murder because we think so. Not one of the January 6th defendants who are in prison at this point in time, not one of them had been charged with insurrection. Trump has not been charged with insurrection, yet the Democrats continue to spew this nonsense of insurrection. You have to actually be convicted of a crime before you can say that person's guilty of a crime. They seem to be doing this in a very different and roundabout way, and it's very, very dangerous, as I use the same word again, because they can then turn around and literally say anything anybody does in our eyes is insurrection, and we can remove you politically based on our interpretation of what an insurrection actually is. You can have an opinion on what happened on January 6th. I thought it was a blight on the country, but it wasn't an insurrection. That's my opinion. But coming back to the firearms aspect of this conversation, targeting people who buy guns and ammunition because they have a different political view is just downright disgusting. And it should not happen. But let me know what you think. As always, you can leave your comments in the comment section below. And as always, any statements of violence or statements that lead to violence will be removed. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you're notified the next time a video goes live. I will see you on the next one. Peace.